We'll see. My brother, my fam. Hey, I'm glad you're here, man. Welcome to the platform.
Man, it's my honor. My privilege. Appreciate you bringing me on. Let's get it.
Nah, man. I think you got an amazing story, amazing journey that I think a lot of people need to hear. And people just need to, you know what I'm saying, know more about who you are. Because you reserve, you know what I'm saying? You lay it back and the people don't talk to you and they really won't know who you are. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
True.
Or
True.
whatever. But Will is funny, you know what I'm saying? Intelligent. You know, he still think he can take me in basketball, but I don't, that's yet to be seen. But now, man, Nashville native.
hmm
So let's jump straight into it, man. Just tell the folks a little bit about you, um, where you grew up, how you grew up a little bit, and then we'll dissect some things and go from there.
All right. Born and raised in Nashville, as you said. Born in Edge Hill, raised in Edge Hill to about 8, and just bounced around. I lived all over our south. Been all over our south. Out east, settle court was up and all that. Used to be in the projects out there, and ended up out west, where that really just turned to my stomping grounds. So, a lot of people think, oh, yeah, he's really from out west. Nah, I'm a south side baby now. I'm a south side baby. It's just, but it's not where you from, it's where you at the time.
Right.
So that's how I go. But, we bounced around a lot, went to several schools all over the city. Um, Pops, he was doing his thing, getting out. So, trying to stay 2 steps ahead of everybody. Well,
Right.
let's move around a little bit, throw people off, and that allowed me the opportunity to meet different people on different sides of town,
Right.
see how everybody get down, so to speak, and to be a little known throughout the city.
Right. Right. Man, so growing up in Nashville, man, what was some of the best things about growing up and what you just as an adolescent as a kid? Nashville has changed since, you know what I'm saying, we got older. But man, what was some of these things that you enjoyed about growing up, man?
Man, just didn't have no worries.
Yeah.
Only thing I had to worry about was getting in trouble, getting a whooping, and keeping the grades up, little chores. But other than that, I mean, free will, so to speak. And of course, like you said, for us,
Right.
we was out and about.
Right.
We had games, but just as much we on the game, even more so we outside.
Right.
Flipping off cars, going to the basketball courts, football in the streets,
Right.
kickball.
Right.
Did all this coming up, so it was more of kind of a community aspect, because all the kids was around.
Right.
It didn't matter. Everybody was outside getting
Right.
along, playing. So
We ain't have phones and social media and even like gaming, right? We couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't talk to you like, you know what I'm saying, with the Wi-Fi and the like talking to people online. That came way after, you know what I'm saying, like after us as far as like when we was in our preteen teenagers, like,
right.
and then even if you had it, even if it was available, like our folks really couldn't afford it
True.
in the sense, or wasn't finna pay for it. For you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we got real things to worry about. You wanna talk on a game with somebody you don't know?
Right. No, I got a phone bill that I need to pay for that we
Right.
need to talk to people. Nah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Man, growing up, man, here in Nashville, out west, man, what was that experience like?
Man, it was different, because of course, anytime you move to a new area, you got to make new friends, got to
Right.
see what the culture is, so to speak, over there. So,
Right.
I'm coming around them and they looking at me like, who was you? You out of bounds. You talking about you from such, such, such. No, you out west now.
Right.
So had to go through that. Then on the other end, we lived in the nations.
Mm-hmm.
And for people that don't know what the nations is streets that are named after states of
Right.
the United States. So basically, the white folks part,
Right.
layman's terms, and everybody else that was really black was on 40th and all that stuff. So we wasn't really in the hood with them,
Right.
but went to school with them.
Right.
So it was definitely different, but it was cool. Ran into a few problems, a few scuffles over the years. That's
Right.
part of it.
Right.
But that's why I really got to become my own.
Right. Right. And so, man, I wanna we met at Pearl.
hmm
You know, we met at Pearl and everything. And for people that know Pearl, Pearl is pretty wild.
Yeah.
And you got and got people from out west, primarily out west and out north,
Right.
right? Um, coming together in the school or whatever, and most of us are coming from the same social economic kind of background, whatever, right? Um, and it was wild. It was fights. It was gangs. It was
Yeah.
everything that you know what I'm saying that it could be. You know what I'm saying that it could be. Man, being from out west, man, growing up out west, and being new to the area, how did you kind of navigate that space, especially in school, where you know people been growing up and going to the same middle schools and stuff, elementaries together and stuff like that, man.
Well, I'm a introvert.
Right.
Shy, reserved, as you were saying. But I do have people that gravitate towards me.
Right.
I don't know, just something about, me as far as that. But I stayed to myself, but I automatically was able to make friends easily. I tell people that I'm a people person, but not a people person.
Right.
Because we can conversate and talk, and I'll be engaged. But when it come down to, let me get your number and we should hang out, yeah, but no. Thank you, but no thank you.
Right.
So it definitely was a different feel to everything.
Right.
Because I was out there for years now. It wasn't me just
Right.
bouncing around like I was used to.
Right.
Like, we was out west for a while, like
Right.
from 13 all the way up to 19.
Right.
So I had to see, get accustomed to how they do things and what's going on, and as well as when they respect.
Right.
Because, of course, you're not from around there, you're going to get tried.
Right.
People going to try their best to provoke you in certain ways,
Right.
to see what you're about. And I feel like I won,
Right.
honestly.
Right.
Tried and tested and proved.
Hey, we're gonna leave it right there. leave it right there. So, man, I want to dig in really to the meat of your story right here. When I went to MTSU after we graduated and stuff, I went to MTSU. You went to the penitentiary, right? Can you walk us through that, man? What kind of led to you being in that position? And I want to preface this but I want to preface this to everybody that's listening. Now, I joke, I mean it a little bit when I say, I don't think Will could take me in basketball. I'm saying, but I will say this though. Will should be in the NBA right now.
I appreciate that.
Nah, if you know basketball, if you ever seen Will play, he's special. He different. But you know what I'm saying, that didn't happen.
Right.
Right? Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So, man, take us through kind of how did you find yourself in a position, you know what I'm saying, where you had to serve, you know what I'm saying, your first stint, right?
Right.
You had to serve 4 years, you know what I'm saying, in the penitentiary. Take us through this is what happened, man.
Man, like I said, my pops was a street dude.
Right.
So even though he meant well, he taught us the proper etiquettes to move in the streets.
Right.
So I knew how to sell dope, knew all about guns and all that stuff. A lot of people didn't know because of my character and how I carry myself in school.
Right.
But would become a whole different guy outside of school.
Right.
Just survival instincts and that nature. So sophomore year, y'all didn't know it till the last minute, but I had a baby coming. That was the start of it. Not my son was a blessing. He was beautiful. I was overjoyed. But at the same time, a kid trying to raise a kid, that's one of the most difficult circumstances you can be put in.
Right.
Even though, yes, I had family support, still, like, the baby mama, baby daddy drama.
Right.
Just going back and forth, trying to make sure I'm the breadwinner in the forefront in his life.
Right.
Because I was raised, you laid down, made it, you need to take care of it.
Right.
And I never been one to, oh man, mom's dad, I ain't got this, but he need this. Can you? Nah, I always wanted to find my own way.
Mm-hmm.
So with this thinking of wanting to be a man and make sure to be the man that my son need,
Right.
I just really got the thugging. And yeah, I went to school, kept my grades up, played ball, did what I was supposed to do. But outside of that, I had a job at the same time. Whatever I can do to make ends meet, I did.
Right.
Ultimately, after graduation, wind up getting into fits at the last minute, but then stick with it. My head wasn't really there. My head was more on some, I need money now.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You got the fist.
Man, got the fist, man. Got the fist. Shout out to Tory. He hit me like, look, you need to come on up here. You're going to make the team. You're going to be starting. You can do it. Let's go.
Man, I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah. So I went there about 3 weeks. I'm talking about doing the paperwork, going to classes. But like I said, my mind like, man, I need some money.
Right.
This ain't going to cut it. I ain't going to tell them how long this process is going to take. I need something now. And wind up catching my robbery charge, which led me to the penitentiary. It just threw me, it took me on another course.
So, because there's a lot of people that's listening, watching, and maybe had the same experience, or maybe thinking about doing just doing a robbery, right? Doing a robbery right now. And most people tend to, want to do robberies with people they feel like they're friends, that they know, or have you think like, I won't get caught. So, man, what was going through your mindset, like, when you decided, like, hey, this was what I got to go through, this is what I'm doing? Did you feel like you was going to get caught? Did you feel like, like it was going to be easy? Was it more like, hey, shit, I ain't done this shit before, so let me ride this out because I need this money.
Right. I feel like I'm a little slicker than most.
Right.
Bam, got cracked in the head for thinking I'm slicker than most. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm around solid guys. Like, man, I know these cats. We done been to school.
Right.
We the same thing, same affiliation. Like, we good. And then everybody talk that gangster.
Right.
Yeah, I done did this, I done did that, I'm been a part of this. So me and my adolescent thinking, honestly, well, he said he done did it.
Right.
He got a gun.
Right.
Yeah, he probably with it. So yeah, let's go ahead and try it. So when the tables turned, it was a shock to the whole system.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness, this man just told on me he supposed to be a gangster.
Right.
You feel me? So, of course, we going in together.
Right.
We thinking that we all gonna come out together, regardless of how it is. If we gotta take time, we all gonna man up, and this is what it is. But everybody don't think the same. Everybody don't think that. Some people just can't face prison, jail, whatever it be. They don't want to leave them streets.
Mm-hmm.
So before I sit here and go there, I rest and tell them you did it, or you the reason for it, whatever I gotta say.
Right.
I allow my mama to get out of this situation.
Right.
And that's what happened to us. So,
looking back on it, like now in hindsight, because this is a big thing right now, like telling, snitching. Looking back on it now, being older, mature, being free, right? Do you blame the guy that told on y'all, or do you see it as like, man, I really knew deep inside that he wasn't really built for this, and it's really my fault for even getting involved with him?
Definitely the second, because like you said, seen it.
Right.
Heard about a couple situations. Knew you in school. You never was this type of guy you trying to portray yourself to be now. But like I said, man, my adolescent thinking.
Right.
Maybe it done changed and grew up here.
Right.
So, we can do this with him. But, I don't blame him, because at the end of the day, tried to make you to be something that you're not, put you in a situation that you're not able to stand up to. So, yeah, at first, man, he a rat.
Right.
He need this to happen to him, that to happen to him. But when
Right.
you sit down and think about it, I knew better. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I even? That's my fault. So shame on me.
Right.
Next one gonna shame on you because I mean it is what it is.
Right. Man, what advice would you give people, especially youth, that might be listening to this, that may still be thinking like, hey, we ain't gonna get caught. My homies, you know what I'm saying, my schoolmates, my peers won't tell on me. Man, what advice would you give to them being gone through that?
First and foremost, everybody get caught. If you out there doing whatever you do, stealing, robbing, shooting, whatever it is, everybody eventually get caught. The more you say and do, it's just the name of the game. Secondly, just because a person says something or even undone something, don't mean that's truly who they are. I mean, it's just simple and plain. People consider a person that shot somebody by accident as a killer.
Right.
That's not the case. Yeah, he killed someone,
Right.
but did he have the intent? Nah, he might have just been shooting at somebody really to hoping to scare him, done hit and kill somebody. That don't mean that he's a bona fide. So don't consider, oh man, he done did it once. That's what makes him that. No, absolutely not. Thirdly, everybody not solid. Everybody not solid, man. The same people that's, oh yeah, man, I got your back 100%.
Right.
No matter what, I would never. The same person say never be the first person to say and do what they say they weren't gonna do.
Right.
That's something I definitely learned firsthand.
You in prison, you take your, you know what I'm saying, you gotta take your charge, you know. What is your mind thinking going into that situation? Like, damn, okay, shit, I'm 18, 19 years old. I gotta go in here with other grown men. Did you feel prepared? What was your mental like going in?
I ain't gonna lie. That was probably, if not but one of the scariest times of my life. We all done heard kind of, the crazy prison stories.
Right.
And for y'all out there, yes, a lot of them prison stories are true and still hold true to this day. But I'm going in still a kid in some respects, going in with grown men that's been down for years on years. A whole nother situation. A lot of the freedoms that we take for granted is literally stripped.
Right.
And to be degraded, having to use the bathroom in front of another man.
Right.
To have to take your clothes off in front of another man. Whenever these folks look, you need to strip, search, all this. I mean, you got to do it. You got to comply. There's no such thing as no.
Right.
So it was a very scary situation. And it did take some adjusting to get accommodated with what was going on. But the crazy part about it, and it sounds crazy, but we conditioned for it. Cause I mean, I took to it pretty well. Like, I didn't have a lot of bad things happen to me while I was in prison.
Right.
I didn't get bullied. I didn't get assaulted. I didn't get stabbed. None of that stuff. I was doing those things to people, which is sound messed up, but that's the belly of the beast when you in the beast.
Right.
So I mean, I got used to it, but I never left the idea and the goal of freedom.
How did that experience change you, man? Because when people that don't know you would say, man, Will, I could never imagine him having to turn into that mode. You know what I'm saying? Where you have to, you know what I'm saying, become a beast. You have to carry around. You got to put in work. In that type of system, man, how did you think about yourself going through those, the initial, 4 years, man?
Man, definitely changed my thinking, my view on life as a whole. I became cynical of the world. And with that, I'm saying, like, everybody's off of self. Right. It's self-preservation to the fullest. And trust is literally like a couple centimeters with anybody.
Right.
Cause same people that was out here will this, will that. Now that man, forget dude. He should be locked up. He should be doing this, and this gonna happen to him right now. This gonna happen to him now. So I'm like, I'm hearing the whispers. People that I thought was friends,
Right.
family, even something like this. What really goes on. This is how it really goes. And the things I had done while I was in there, I'm not proud of it. I had never been one of those guys that glorified prison life.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. I mean, I did what I had to do to survive, but I'm not one to boast and brag. Oh yeah, man, I had to whoop and did that, and I'm happy about it. No.
You see a lot of that.
Yes.
You hear a lot of that.
Yes.
In our culture, specifically, black community. Man, what are your thoughts on that, man? Because you got people saying, "Hey, I was doing this, woo in prison. I was doing that. I was this type of guy in prison." They ain't talking about don't go. You don't want to have to do it. They saying they glorifying what they had to do. Man, like, what's your thoughts on that? A person that hasn't experienced it, intensely.
Man, you sending the wrong message first and foremost. Like, we want people to get out of prison. Mm-hmm. We want prison reform. We want better laws, and the laws that's existing, we want them gone. We want them eradicated because they are targeted towards us.
Right.
So why would you be glorifying the acts that you had to do to survive?
Right. What are people, man? Because unless you in there, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What are people like yourself when you was in that particular position? How y'all feeling at the moment when y'all hearing this glorification, whether it's through music or whether it's on social media, and y'all are living an experience, then y'all got somebody else that's not in there at the time
mm-hmm.
talking about it like it's Disneyland.
Yeah, like he couldn't have been in prison for real, or he might have been at a low medium camp or an annex. He couldn't have been around the real gangsters, the real monsters that's in there because they really do exist. Like, this ain't nothing that you brag on.
Right.
I know people that died in there. I know people that lost body parts in there because of wars. I know people that was raped, things of this nature. Like, and some things you cannot do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. It's situations I've been put in, like, I gotta literally attack a guy that I'm cool with. No beef whatsoever because of our affiliations. And what's pending because of that, this guy get taken care of.
Right.
Don't care about this being your friend, your brother, your cousin. He's not one of us, either with me and our team or you with them. So it's different. Like, man, y'all glorifying this. Like, how can you glorify? You must not have been through nothing in there.
Right.
You couldn't have been in no wars. You couldn't have your life on the line. You couldn't have your back against the wall, and things could have really turned ugly, turned deadly.
Right. So you in there for 4 years. Man, what is one of the biggest things that you missing while you in there?
I always been real big on family. Like, yeah, of course women, but the biggest thing was family. While I was gone during the jail time for prison, my youngest son was born. Get out, and literally, he's like 4 months old, and I only spent 2 months with him before I had to go back to prison. So now I'm gone for all this time. He wasn't even walking, talking.
Right.
To now he's running around, independent. Like, I missed a lot of time, some crucial years in his life.
How did it make you feel as a man, as a black man?
I mean, it hurts. It hurts because I can't speak on everybody else, but me as a father,
right? I
literally live for that. I love it. So me missing out on the first of everything he was doing to actually raise him, I got a chance to do that with my oldest. Right. I didn't with him.
Right.
So I felt like I set him at a disadvantage out the gate.
Right.
And I'm thinking, like, how does he think of me? Like, does he think of me?
Right.
I'm going through drama, with the mama already. I'm far away. We barely, talking. Like, do we even know that I'm his father? Like, how this dynamic is going to be once I actually be in his presence.
Right.
That's the most pain that I done felt.
Damn. Now, you know what I'm saying? I got a son, Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and And I'm sitting here thinking, man, I don't know what I would do if like just right now if I was like taken away. Whether you know what I'm saying, whether it's on my own like cause, whatever, just removed from his life, and I gotta be, and I know he there and he exists, but I can't see him for 4 or 5 years.
It's something different. Just imagine that, okay, what if another man is raising him? What if he looking at him as a father or thinking that? That's pain on another level for guys that really want to be fathers, that love their children and
Right.
want them to know like it's us.
Man, it's like sadness and anger. You know what I'm saying? You come home. What year you come home?
2012.
You come home
No,
2012. Yeah. So you look. So this is because J.E. came home.
Mm-hmm.
Because J.E. came home right before I graduated, like MTSU. So it was like
2011.
yeah, 2011, like 2011, going into 2012, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I graduated in May. You came home in November,
Mm-hmm.
2012. What is life like, man?
Man, of course it's great because like yes, like I'm really free. I'm finna be able to sit and do things that I wanted to do,
Right,
and have my total freedom.
right,
But that's a facade because when you get out of prison, get out of jail doing any kind of time, you riding on the high. You riding on that freedom high, like yes, I'm finally out here. I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that. All these dreams, goals, and being so ambitious and driven and inspired to do these things. And then you start hitting these roadblocks. You start seeing the pitfalls. You start seeing like, well, this is not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. Like,
right.
there's so many obstacles against me right now that I wasn't banking on. And of course, we all have the best us in mind. So we think, oh, this wouldn't happen to me, or
Right.
this ain't gonna be me. I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna be able to do that. No, it happens to all of us when you put in that situation.
So what were some of those roadblocks, man?
Man,
When you came home and you like, hey, I'm back,
mm,
and so I can be involved in my kids' life, and I'm only 22.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I still got plenty of life to live. Man, what are some of the barriers that you ran into when you was trying to, reform yourself and become a new and better Will?
Man, the first one was myself. My confidence, regardless of how I carried myself in high school and things that I did, my confidence was shaken to its core. Like, I don't even want to approach females because I'm like, I'm not up to par. I don't have no money.
Right.
I don't have a job. I don't have nothing. So what can I offer anybody?
Right.
So that was the first thing I had to deal with mentally. Housing, way harder than what I thought. Trying to find somewhere as a felon, and with us black men, majority, especially me going in so young, I don't have no rental history.
Right.
Credit score is nothing.
Right.
And then I got this felony, so I got 3 strikes against me already.
Right.
So before I even go to the door, I'm counted out.
Right.
So that was a big hurdle. Jobs, I mean, depending on the felony you got, it makes it that much severe. They looking at the felony, oh yeah, you got a felony, but what is it? When you get talking about things like robbery, murders, dope selling, that put that much more on you. Because, for me having a robbery charge, who want to hire me that's got anything involved with money?
Right.
Anything that's valuable that can be taken, who want to put themselves in that position to trust this person to do what's right? And a lot of employers, they looking at it like this is a risk that I'm taking. And I get it, but at the same time, I know me. You
Right.
don't.
Right.
I know that I'm not trying to put myself in that situation again, but I gotta convince the next person that's already like, I don't come from your background. I don't get what you been through, and frankly, in my opinion, don't care.
Right.
So what can you do to convince me to let you have opportunity? And lastly was like, where do I go?
Right.
You know, coming from this situation, how do I move about trying to get these things and to better myself without using criminal thinking?
Right.
While reverting back to what I know.
Right. So how did you do that, man? How did you, for the time that you was home, right? How did you navigate trying to figure out your next steps, becoming a better man, providing without immediately thinking I gotta take something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, of course, the family, you know, they we need you out here. You know, we're gonna help you in the ways possible. My good friends, you, Jay, Zon,
Right.
man, bro, this is what we're doing.
Right.
Man, you need any kind of help, call us, holler at you. Even if we can't help financially, we gonna figure out something.
Right.
We gonna powwow, put it together, something. We gonna do something because we
Right.
want you out here. So just to have that confidence from others in you, like, and want you to stay free, to stay home. Like, dude, we missed you.
Right.
It has not been the same. They motivated me to whatever I got to do.
Right.
And then I heard a story about my granddad, man. He passed away while I was in there. And a lot of people, you look just like your granddad, body structure, face, everything. I learned something because when I was young, the last memory I had of him before he had 2 strokes, and survived these 2 strokes, was he would tell me he don't take me to a monster truck show. He had a stroke and they canceled it. So I had never just really get to know him as able-bodied, moving around, doing his own thing, being independent. And my uncle was like, man, your granddad a strong dude. He was a hard-working man. He was like, man, you know our backyard back there? Had a house on Tremont Edge here. He like, man, he dug up that whole backyard just to run his own pipeline for the bathroom. So to do something like it, not only physically strong, you have to be mentally strong.
Right. Discipline.
Yes, discipline, because that's some grueling work. We had bricks and rocks, and so they're like, man, granddaddy did this. That's also in me.
Right.
So that's what made me, man, I'm finna work until a better opportunity come along. I don't care how hard it get.
Right.
I don't care what doesn't come my way. I just want to be grounded and prepared for when it does come my way, and I'm finna work this until something gets better.
Man, can you speak to us a little bit about the importance of that community support? Because you hear a lot of times people get out and don't have that, or their family shun them, or you know, they forgive but don't forget, so they don't, you know what I'm saying? Because they could have caused harm to them, or they don't want to be attached to them. And you know, what they can do to your mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, so for a family, friends, or peers of somebody that just got out of prison, out from being caged up, what are some good practices they could have to best support that person that they love and care about, that can make a big difference?
Man, community support is a big thing for people coming home. We need that confidence. We need to know that people do love us, miss us, care for us, and want to see us putting our best foot forward and wanting to help on any aspect they can. Because when you don't have nobody, you just, it don't matter if I go to jail or not.
Right.
I'm finna do whatever it is that I feel is necessary. But you won't take those risks if you know people are really caring for you and want you there. So for people that have folks coming home, I mean, it don't take much. Everybody just think about the monetary value. You know, I need to be able to say and give them this much or buy this for them. It's not about that. It's more showing true love and caring for a person, you know, help them to be motivated and inspire them and let them know, like, I'm in your corner. I might not be able to do this,
Right.
but I'll be able to do that. I might not be able to come right now and handle this for you, but I am ear to listen to.
Right.
You know, a phone call, just, how you doing, man?
Right.
You know, checking on you, man. I know you on the grind.
Right.
I know that things ain't going your way, but it's going to get better. That goes a long way for a person's mental aspect of mental health as far as staying grounded and staying on the civilian route, basically.
Right. So you out, you trying to navigate, trying to figure things out. Something happened
Mm-hmm.
because you end up going back in. Can you walk us through that and kind of maybe what led up to some of that, and how did you find yourself just back in a place you didn't want to go? You didn't want to go back to. You want to leave your family, your kids, and all that. And what year? So we in
This will be 2014.
2014. So you out 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You out 2 years. So man, so can you talk us through that a little bit? What happened in those 2 years? You know, to put you back where you did your longer stretch.
Okay. Once I got in 2012, I was granted an opportunity to work, making some good money. And I wound up working 2 jobs at one point. Wound up moving in with my oldest son, mama. So now I got that family aspect going. And everything was going pretty good, you know, couple hiccups there, here and there, nothing major, nothing that put me in jeopardy. The family doing pretty good, everything kind of coming full circle, coming together. You know, my brother, love him to death, wind up calling, saying having a situation, and I showed somebody end up losing their life behind the situation. Now, it's not my situation per se, but because of just even a phone call and having some kind of knowledge about what could possibly happen, automatically got me violated and sent back. That changed everything.
Right.
That changed everything. Wound up losing everything in the process.
And what did you? Because you lost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying, and just not material things, other family members.
Right.
And so, talk us through that.
Wind up, everybody got locked up. Everybody that he called got locked up. Me, both my little brothers, my mom, my dad, and a couple of my brother friends, 7 people on one case. So
This is stuff that you see like in movies. You know what I'm saying? We talk about families. We hear about mamas and daddies and siblings all going down, you know? Like, those are usually people with one person go down, they there to support and help.
right.
But when your support and help go down too,
Hey,
what do you do? Like, how you process that?
that it took me by surprise, and it shocked me. Cause when they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna pick up your mom and dad too," I'm like, they ain't did nothing. You ain't gonna be able to do that, and they did it. The justice system, the injustice system, proved to me, like, we can do what we want. You don't want to cooperate? We're gonna get somebody that will. We're gonna say force your hand or force theirs to get what we want. That proved a lot. But to lose, my mom always been my backbone.
Right.
Love my dad, he been there, but my mom has been the one that truly gets me. Who I used to saying, call home and, you know, Mom, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm going through, this is what I want to do. And she listening, and she also applying, she doing. So to lose that, I'm like, goodness, like, what am I going to do?
Right.
And, you know, I have my oldest son, mama, she rode, for a while. But for people that don't know, man, when you start doing calendars, when you start doing years, it's hard for a significant other to be there and be truly faithful.
Right.
So, you know, to even be loyal, you know, it's a difference between faithful and loyalty. So
right.
she couldn't hold on. I don't knock her.
Right.
This is me being grown, because of course at the time, oh hell no,
Right.
Now, you know, you think about it, I've been gone. I'm gone.
Right.
She's still young.
Right.
She doing things on her own.
Right.
She still had needs.
Right.
This is part of it. You know, I put myself in this situation. This is what comes with it.
Right.
So, I mean, it was definitely rough. Definitely.
How much time did you get?
Wound up getting 15. 15 years.
How much was that? What you had to do at 70, 80%? How much?
Man, 30%.
30%.
On top of me having to flatten my parole. So don't forget that. I still had 8 year, 30% sentence that I had to do. So, you know, I had to go that, finish that up, then start a whole new sentence.
They wouldn't run it concurrent.
Nah, they weren't trying to. They wanted us.
So here you are back again.
Mm-hmm.
Now you familiar with the process. You know what I'm saying? You've been there, you did 4 already. Now they gave you 15, not counting the probation violation. So you gotta do, you know, you gotta do that. You gotta flatten that.
Right.
Then do your 30%.
Right.
Man, where's your mind at? Like, at this time? Like,
Man.
you know now you ain't, you know, you know it's gonna be a minute.
Right, right. And that minute felt like it was gonna be forever or never. Like I had plenty of thoughts like I'll never make it home. After all this done happened, everything I got on my back. Cause these folks they were offering us 40 years. 40 years at 100%. That's life. I don't care how you try to slice it up. At the end of the day, you 20-something, you getting home 60, then 70 years old. Golden years, all that is over with.
Right.
And you come home to nothing. So I'm like, man, it's over with. I'll never get there. Everybody gone.
Right.
People that you consider, well, they might come through and no. So it was just me. So I had a lot of dark thoughts at that time. A lot of dark thoughts, and all that I could do was just pray on day by day.
And having dark thoughts going into a dark place ain't a good thing.
Right.
Don't nothing happen but dark things happen.
Right.
So what was some of the differences between going in the first time and then the second time?
The first time, you know, I'm going in, you know, a teenager basically, so I had support. You know, of course, like I said, my moms was there.
Right.
My uncle came through. You know, friends, little girlfriends. They all want to ride. Your first time going in, doing a bid. Everybody with you. Everybody supporting you. So, you know, it was, I ain't gonna say cool or all right.
Right.
But it was manageable.
Right.
This time, like, where was my help gonna come from? Everybody gone, and like you said, family shunned me. Like I ain't dealing with that. You know, he done went to prison all over again, and they don't understand the situation, don't care.
Right.
So it was just me. So I had to do things just to survive, just to get the bare necessities and the essentials.
Damn. From your first stint going into your second time, of course, I'm sure you knew how to navigate. You knew the politics. You understood things. You know what I'm saying? You're a pro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're a pro. You know what's up now. Did you find it harder because you knew how to adapt so quickly, and you knew what was going? You already knew what was up, and you already was going in with a dark place. You knew, hey, I'm here for a minute.
Right.
Did that make it harder for you to kind of transform into a more positive person and really reflect on like what happened? Because you knew like I'm gonna be here, I'm already mad, I'm angry, I done lost everything. I might as well lean more to the fuck shit.
Yeah, man.
You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Then try to, you know, fall away from it.
Man, absolutely. When you don't have a hope, it's like shit. I'm finna do whatever.
Right.
I'm finna do whatever. So, I mean, you rolling dirt, you expect to get dirty. You should.
Right.
So I'm finna become a mud pie out here. In order for me to survive, to have what I need, to have some semblance of comfortability, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do. And who cares?
Right.
I mean, I don't have nobody. Who cares what I'm going through? So it is what it is. You know, judgment. Didn't care about anybody saying this, saying that. At the end of the day, I gotta say and be here. I'm here for a minute. This is my time. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Right.
And it's hard to come from that. It's hard to be positive when you're around so much negativity.
Right.
You know, people around, they going through their situations, their circumstances. You hearing all these horror stories. You seeing horror stories play out while you're in there. And you like, I mean, this is what it is. It's life.
Right. You was locked up during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And from the outside looking in, you hear, you know what I'm saying, you hear a lot of stuff was going on. You know what I'm saying? Inmates not able to get vaccinations, people dying, this whole pods of people quarantined off, all of this stuff, man. What was going on? Cause you was in it, in the thick of like, in the thick of it, man. What was going on in the penitentiary, man, during this pandemic while you was in there, and how was inmates, I was saying, reacting to it?
That's a big one. When it first came out, instant lockdown. Everybody in the cell, ain't no coming out, showers, nothing there. You gonna get fed through a slot. You only get one hot meal a day, and that might be breakfast, everything else, sandwiches. Like, we like, dude, this is crazy. We talking about really feeling caged up,
Right.
claustrophobic, and then you got a cellmate, so you know, with a whole other man for days on days, for weeks. Like, that's not normal. That's not cool. That does something to your mental.
Right.
You know, basically you get stir crazy. You know, they were doing so many random lockdowns every other day. Once they did let us off, staff members catching it. So now we in fear.
Right.
You know, they gave these cloth masks that ain't doing too much of nothing.
Right.
And it's spreading at a rapid rate. We hearing about folks, you know, having to get rushed outside to medical because they can't breathe. People falling out. A couple people died. It was a scary. It's a very scary situation.
Man, did y'all feel forgotten? Because, you know, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was already people out in like this that was free, that wasn't getting the care and the necessary assistance that they need. So I'm pretty sure y'all felt like, well, we just, you know, people already look down upon people who are already incarcerated anyway. Like, they had their chance, they messed it up. And so now it's a healthcare crisis. You know, how, like, do you feel that our healthcare system aided y'all in the best way possible?
Nah, I don't feel that. I mean, you seeing it, like I said, people passing out and everything, and they can't do nothing for them.
Right.
You know, they don't want us to be outside of prison. So going to medical, like, they literally on their deathbed trying to get somebody to the hospital. It's too late.
Right.
So, like, they couldn't do nothing for us.
Right.
Phones off, so it wasn't like we can call out there, man, look, this is what's going on. Like, they literally had, when it first hit, phones was off. You couldn't call nobody.
Wow.
So our people don't even know what's really going on. And, you know, in prison at the time, you was to die, how your people gonna know? You get, you know, very sick like that, they don't know. They're not gonna contact them unless they absolutely have to.
Right.
So it's like, damn, what the hell we gonna do? You can't run from it, obviously. We see everything that's going on here.
Right.
And they came through, once the vaccine started coming out, rolling out, they come through us talking about, do you want to get vaccinated? Me personally, like I told them, I don't want to be a guinea pig.
Right.
I don't know if we getting the same thing that folks in the free world are getting.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the ramification is for those out there.
Right.
At least they can have some kind of help if anything goes wrong. We not gonna get any. So if it goes wrong, hey.
Right. Wow. Did a lot of people have that kind of mental in there? Like, hey, like, y'all already, you know what I'm saying? Just look at what y'all giving us now, and what y'all provide, the resources y'all provide for us now. Now y'all want to stick something in us?
Right. Like,
yeah.
We used to discuss it all the time, like, and this crazy because it brought the prison together, so to speak. People from different factions, affiliations, like, man, look, this is bigger than all this right now.
Right.
This is what's going on. What can we do?
Right.
You know, how do y'all feel? And like, a lot of people feel the same way. Like, man, I don't know what them folks gonna give us.
Right.
They already locking us down because people don't want to come to work.
Right.
So we feeling like if it get too bad, we'll just be sitting here can't even get out the cell, get no food. Like, we just gonna sit and die. And like you said, who cares?
Right.
Because we can't contact nobody. Nobody gonna think, well, let me go call and try to check on my brother, see what's going on down there.
Can nobody do that?
Right.
I can't call the pen and be like, hey, can I speak to Will Carter, please?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Is he available right now?
Absolutely not.
On the outside, we seeing that our criminal legal system is starting to, due to the pandemic, parole people out, let people get out early. And in a lot of ways, the pandemic shed light on what offenses we need to be putting people in jail or prison for anyway, because they had limited, space, limited resources, and they really had to take a closer look at the criminal legal system. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have to, or she shouldn't have to be in jail for a suspended license or these real non-violent, non-serious, life-threatening crimes. And so they changed a lot of stuff, right?
Right.
And even with that, it went over to people who was already incarcerated for things, in offenses they already had, pled guilty to or whatever, or were guilty of. How was that kind of feeling in the penitentiary, living in it, when y'all was hearing oh shit, people can get out because of this now? People going home because of this, man. What was it like, the vibes around that, man, in the cells?
Man, it was crazy. A lot of people had hope. A lot of people like, man, I might be able to get out early. Let me check into some stuff. Let me call my lawyer. People that's been gone for years, and got a lot of devils, man. Look, who got corona?
Right.
Give it to me so I can sit here and try to petition for me to get out of here. And there's nothing to play with. Right. People are literally dying. But like I say, I'm a very understanding person.
Right.
Don't mean I agree with what you're saying.
Right.
I just hear it, I recognize it, I understand.
Right.
But you gonna put your life at risk to catch this virus for the hope and the chance and the opportunity to get out of jail earlier than what you're scheduled for your freedom.
Right.
But what if you catch this virus and it don't pan out? What if you catch this virus and you die?
Right.
It's all for nothing.
That's the ultimate freedom, because you ain't have to worry about being nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was, I'm like, nah. I thought about it yeah, no. As soon as it went in, nah, can't chance it.
And so, at this time, you've done 7?
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years.
7 years. Kids, teenagers, right? You get out 2021. Was it May?
Yeah, May.
May 2021. And so you ain't even been home a year.
Right.
May 2021. Glad you're home, by the way.
Man, appreciate it. Thank you, baby.
May 2021. Before you got out, man, did you see light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, but like I say, I'm so skeptical of things. So it's like I'm so used to, getting dealt a raw hand or a bad hand, it's gonna be something. It's gonna come something. So I had to kind of, fight those thoughts on the daily. And it's just been a grind just to even get to the point where I'm at today.
Come home in May. What are some of the things that you're thinking about? Because you didn't been through this before, right? Did one stretch 4, came home, made it out 2 years, right? Then had to go back in. Did 7, come back home. I asked you kind of what was the differences the first time going in. What was the differences the second time coming out?
Everybody gone still. damn, where am I gonna get my help from?
Mama still locked up, daddy still locked up, brother still locked up.
Right. So it's like, man, I'm the first to make it out, but who got what going on? Who can I rely on? Who can I lean on? And a lot of stuff I didn't do.
Right.
You know, I was an adult, but still was getting into the world.
Right.
So a lot of stuff I used to call mom, hey mom, man, how you do this? How you apply for this? And I'm trying to learn how to do this. You know, she was guiding me through a lot of stuff. So with her gone, it's like I'm green.
Right.
Like where do I go? Like social security cards, birth certificates, little simple things that people should know.
That you learned it in your 20s, but you spent them incarcerated.
Right. So that's a whole nother adjustment factor.
Right.
And to really feel like it's really me, like I gotta rely on me. If I don't get it done, no one it's not gonna get done, period.
Right.
So that was a big adjustment, man. Like, where do I go to do simple things that people been knowing how to do?
Right.
You know, and at the same time, don't think of myself as being dumb or foolish for not knowing.
Right.
You know, I've been gone, so I gotta keep it on my mental. I'm not gonna be at the same level as everyone else.
Right. How was it getting out, man, and seeing your kids, man?
Man, that right there, when my son got out that car, and he nose to nose with me, my oldest.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I've been gone. I've been gone. Dude was at my hip. Now we forehead to forehead.
Right.
Like that's crazy. It hurt. It's lovely, but it hurt at the same time.
Right.
Cause like I said, what comes to my mind, like, man, I just did all this time. Look how much he done grown.
Right.
I went in, he was a boy. He a young man now. You know, but at the same time, like he done really made it to this point, and I'm finally here. So it's like, yeah, you know, this what I prayed for. This is what I've been waiting for.
Right. Man, what's been the most difficult thing, man? Because I know it's hard being a parent, being a father, being present all the time. And so I can only imagine, man, trying to figure out kind of how you place yourself in your son's life after being gone, 4 years and then out 2, then gone another 7. Man, what's because, and the reason I asked this question because one is I want this to deter people, especially men and young black men, from ending up in the penitentiary, because look what you're missing out on.
Right.
Look at the time that you can't get back. And then it's the struggles that you had to figure out and find that relationship that you had to build with your kids again. Right? And so what were some of those struggles, man, that you still might be going through? That when you see it's all love and like happy to see you, happy to see them, but now you got to be a father, and you haven't been able to be that physically in person, present, which is different than calling home and
totally
doing
different.
all that. Right now you gotta figure out what that looks like and have that understanding. Like, I ain't been here, so I can't expect him just to like, okay, this is my daddy. Now I need to listen to everything that he's saying, and you gotta maybe watch how you come across because you don't want to isolate them, or you don't want him to like kind of alienate you because you're being too hard on him. How have you dealt with that, man?
Man, that's been the biggest struggle ever, because he went in as a kid. He's a teenager now.
Right.
So he going through transition and puberty, girls.
Right.
The whole works, smelling himself out. So, like, I know that I can't come in trying to force too much of anything.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, however I want to look at it, he's still been doing it on his own.
Right.
Whatever situations he been doing it, I have not been present.
Right.
Yeah, I might have heard, he done this, or he's doing this now. Still, I haven't physically been there. So it's a different ball game when addressing those situations. It's a lot of them. I done missed plenty. So I am, tiptoeing a little bit around things, especially how I address them, how I talk to him, because I want him to be respected and I want to be respected also. It needs to go both ways.
Right.
But I don't need to come off as trying to be a hard ass
Right.
or I'm your dad and whatever I say and do is right. And you know, don't give him uh, the free will that he deserves also.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be that overbearing, you know, father just because I came home. Now I'm pressing up on you on everything you do. I'm here to guide you to be the best young man you can be and capitalize on opportunities.
Man, because you know it's a lot of fathers and mothers locked up, right?
Right.
But since we men, we're gonna speak from the father standpoint. To fathers who have kids, to fathers who are in prison in any case that have kids, you know, it can be a struggle, as you know, and it can be easy to just give up the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
What advice can you give, you know, those parents that are currently incarcerated or just recently just been released, you know, and have kids? What advice can you give them on maintaining that relationship and how to maintain that relationship while they in prison and the importance of that, even though they might not be ideal or the best?
You know, stay with it. I mean, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be hard. Your kid probably gonna say some things that you are not gonna like over the phone or through visit. Probably be a little disrespectful, but it's because they're hurting too. I always keep it in mind. Your kids are hurting because you're not there. They know you as mom. They know you as pops, and you not being there. Somebody else may be trying to fill those roles or acting, but at the same time, they miss you. They know you. They want you. So with you not being there, yeah, they gonna act out a little bit. They gonna, you know, buck a little bit even towards you. But you gotta stick with it and bear in mind, like, dude, you know, I get it. I'm not there, but I can't give up.
Right.
We parents for a reason. God blessed us to have these children.
Right.
And, you know, you definitely gotta be mentally prepared for the drama that comes along with being incarcerated and your children out here.
Right.
You know, you only can do and say so much on the phone that actually sinking in and they gonna apply it.
Right.
So you gonna constantly repeat yourself.
Right.
Get ready. You know, it's just like raising them as 2 and 3 years old all over again.
Right.
But most definitely stick with it. Don't give up.
Are you facing some of the same barriers the first time you went in, you know, the second time? When I mean barriers, I mean in housing, employment, just figuring out, you know, their confidence, some of those things. How did that play into you getting out the second time?
The confidence thing, I'm still kind of, you know, getting around because it's about, which I'm not a material person,
Right.
but everybody who don't like nice things.
Right.
But oh man, I don't got my own spot. You know, I don't have a bunch of money. I haven't done this. I haven't done that when others have done it. They've been, but I gotta keep in mind they've been free.
Right.
So you know, I'm still dealing with that, trying to shake that off. Housing, again, I don't know, it's too difficult.
Right.
I mean, prices already skyrocketed in Nashville.
Right.
But not even just that. I apply for somewhere, and even though my felonies, one of them is 7+ years old, another one 11.
Right.
They still like, well, dude, you caught these felonies. We still gonna hold this against you.
Right.
So, same thing with the jobs.
Right.
Like, yeah, we understand that it's been X amount of years and you on a new path, but we still see you as this number.
Right.
We still see you as this person.
Man, what if you could? What would you change about our criminal legal system that creates those barriers for people like yourself and others that just happen to have a felony, made a mistake when they was a teenager, but transform and now, you know, and worthy. You know, you're a worthy person of these things.
Mm-hmm.
It should be human rights to be able to get employment and housing and things like that, right? Without barriers. And what would you change about the criminal legal system when it comes to that? What do you just think about it, man?
Man, I mean, I think it's messed up because at the end of the day, we coming from a situation where it's dire, and you giving us no hope. Cause we talking to people in prison, still talking to people that's free,
Right.
and they talking to people that was in prison with them. Like I still got people calling my phone, asking me how it's going,
Right.
and I'm not putting on no facade for them. Look, it's hard.
Right.
I'm still trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. It's difficult. So they hearing it's like, well, hell, I know what he on. I know he working his butt off 6 days a week, putting in 50, 60 hours a week. If he having problems, what I'm gonna face?
Right.
So it becomes detrimental. Like, well, hell, I know what I'm gonna do when I get out.
Right.
I'm going back to the block. I'm finna go rob. I'm finna go scam. I know criminal thing kicks in at full force then.
Right.
So, to me, for them, they need to change it. Yeah, everybody talking about prison reform and all this other stuff and equal opportunity.
Right.
But I still don't feel it trickling down. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one.
Right.
Like, how can it be equal opportunity if, yes, I caught this felony and it's so many years old? Not a repeat felony, also, I may add. But you still holding it against me.
Right.
Where's the chance to show my character and who I am now today? Not who I was 7 or 11 years ago.
Right.
People do change.
Right.
Situations do change. Circumstances. So it need to be something in place for felons to actually have these opportunities at these jobs that they are qualified for because it's the best of everything in prison. Let me keep say that. So for these jobs, these housings, for these licenses, give us a real shot.
Right.
Now I can see repeat. Well, okay, I'm gonna send a whole list something against you. You done did it again, so this might be who you are.
Right.
But somebody, man, especially a first time offender, done robbed somebody or sold a little dope and got caught. Okay, that could be a one lifetime thing.
And what was the reason behind that? You know, you trying to buy Pampers. You might just trying to put food on the table. You know, you wasn't trying to harm nobody. Like you said, accidents happen sometimes.
Right.
They don't make them a murderer because I shot a bullet to the floor and it bounced up and hit a man in the stomach or a woman in the stomach.
Right.
Man, is there anything that you regret?
Man.
You have any regrets, man? How you feel about the streets? So this is 2 questions. Is anything that you regret, and what is your outlook on the streets today? Because you still see, you know, especially in our community, especially in our music and things, it's still glorified. Shit, you got people, you know, TikTok videos in prison. You know what I'm saying? Glorifying it, but also trying to put on game. You know, like, hey, this ain't where you want to be. Man, what's your thoughts on all this, man? And reflecting personally on your actions and, you know, what you did, but also just on, is the streets a place that people really should get into regardless of the situation?
Right. Regrets, you know, of course, well, I'm speaking for me. I got plenty of them. But one of my biggest regrets was high school. Like, I was naturally, you know, smart, was able to catch on things pretty quick, but I didn't apply myself because of these things. Like, man, I ain't got to take homework home and study.
Right.
If I bring home a B on this, a C on this, that's passing. That's good enough for me.
Right.
I didn't apply myself to my fullest extent. I didn't push myself.
Right.
Also, ego. You know, I got real big-headed because of my status on the basketball team, because of who I was and how I view other people viewing me. So now, I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to do that. I can do whatever.
Right.
I don't got to keep on putting in the work because I put enough in, and now I'm getting all the accolades and everything that comes with what I did. Don't settle.
Right.
Never get comfortable.
Right.
So, you know, that's some things I regret. Oddly enough, it might sound crazy, I don't regret prison.
Why is that?
It's because I did learn and I did grow up a lot. I was mature.
Right.
But it took it to a whole nother level. Being around folks that never did the simplest things that we done did as kids.
Right.
It's mind blowing. Like to hear a person be like, man, me and some folks talking, we talking about picking a girl up. And the guy like, man, he just smiling. What you smiling about? Man, I'm finna get out. And I ain't never did that. I've been gone 30 years. You ain't never picked a girl up and took her to the movies, any of that? I've been gone since I was 12, 13.
Wow.
It's mind blowing. Like, man, this is something that we do running the mills.
Right.
And this man is looking forward to the opportunity to do things that he should have done.
Should have been able to do.
Simple. So I don't regret prison. As far as the streets, it's different out here for real. Like, you know, of course I'm talking to y'all and everything. Y'all telling me, this was going on. No. Seeing it for yourself, going through it for yourself is a totally different experience. Like, morals, value, and principles, what are those?
Right.
Loyalty, trust, what are those? Love, what are that?
Right.
Like, it don't count.
Right.
Really, you feel me? I don't care how tight you think you are with somebody or how much you think you know somebody.
Right.
It's then non-essential. Like, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna do what's best for me and me only.
Right.
And it's different, man. Like I said, I already got a skeptical view of the world.
Right.
This don't do nothing but heighten it. Now I'm like, I'm right. I should be like I am, because look what's going on.
Right.
You know, I ain't doing nothing bad.
Right.
I mean, like you said, people glorifying the murdering, you know, the robbing, you know, all that prison life. Like, I get it. It's entertainment.
Right.
But understand, it's not only entertaining grown people. It's entertaining the young folks.
Right.
The kids.
Right.
And they taking this to heart, like, man, what Lil Baby said he done shot 4 or 5 people, and I'm trying to get like Lil Baby.
Right.
I mean, you can't take everything to heart, but they don't know. They impressionable. They young.
Right.
So the streets is different. Different. It's for self.
Right.
For real.
But I think though, the more youth and just people in general hear stories like yours, and everything that one can lose, miss out on, not be a part of, have other just systemic barriers just because you've been through that system. Hopefully that deters our community, our youth, you know, human beings in general from wanting to go through that path. There's gonna be people who do their dirt and that's the life they want to live. They want to gain these stripes to impress whoever they trying to impress.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always gonna be them, but everybody ain't gotta be them, and everybody ain't them.
Right.
And everybody ain't them, and that's why I thought it was essential, man, for you to share your story, and for people to get to know you and your path, but just everything that come with it. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to end on this, man. What is the now free? Ain't been a year, but the now free. We'll see, man. What is your next kind of steps, and just what are some things that, you know, some resources that you still trying to tap into that maybe some listeners and viewers could, you know what I'm saying, potentially, you know, be able to point you in the direction.
I would like to be involved with kids. I love kids. Love them. I understand me growing up as a kid, the things I thought about and was feeling and thought I was overlooked on things. So definitely want to help kids that are at risk. You know, partly why, you know, you offer the opportunity. I want to speak on it.
Right.
You know, give them a chance to hear some actual factual things and look, this is my perspective on it.
Right.
You know, this is facts. This ain't no made up, I rapped about or made up in, you know, history class.
Exaggerated or nothing like that.
None of it. Everything's factual. But I love kids, so, you know, I love ball. So if I can be able to, you know, get the coaching or training, things of that nature, I would love to do it. But also not just that aspect. I want them to broaden their horizons.
Right.
Let's go do this. Let's go there. Let's, you know, show you something different, because us being in the hood, our background, we're not seeing nothing but the usual things. We're not doing nothing but the usual.
Right.
Going to look parties, going to the clubs.
Right.
We're not thinking about going to no museum.
Right.
We're not thinking about going to no real NBA game.
Right.
We're not thinking about going to college games. We're not thinking about that unless
country.
none of that.
Right.
Unless it has something involved in you being recognized, because it's another thing about the streets, everybody doing anything to be seen,
Right.
to get the likes and the loves and the comments. They doing whatever. I'm talking about, it's mind blowing.
Right.
But that's what's going on. So if it's not that coming with that situation, for instance, if I tell a kid, let's go to the museum, if I post that, nobody ain't gonna really like me going to the museum.
Right.
That's the average thinking that we have.
Right.
But you finna get a invaluable experience.
Right.
You know, so that'd be something that I definitely want to do. Was thinking about, nonprofits,
Right.
that aspect, because it's all the same thing.
I think you got it in you, man. And I hopefully, because I think your story, your journey, your experience, your lived experience is invaluable to the community, because you can reach people that I can't reach. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what you've been through in real life. You know what I'm saying? That it's going to be different, even though I might know, hey, you don't want to do that. It's different than saying, I don't want to do that. You shouldn't do that, because me, myself, personally, did 4, 7, lost this, lost that. People turned their back on me. I couldn't get into housing. I had to work this type of job. I had to be, all that. You know what I'm saying? That's different. You know what I'm saying? That's different, man. And I hope, hopefully, people that's listening and watching this reach out to you, man, to speak more about this to their youth. No matter what, whether it's in Nashville, greater Nashville, Tennessee, southeast region of the United States, anywhere in the world, because I just think it's invaluable, man. And, I think you're just a great person to articulate it. And with your all, right? And man, I'm just glad that you're home, man. I really am, man. And,
I so appreciate it.
And it ain't even been a year yet, so we keeping you out this time, though. You ain't come back in. You ain't come in. If y'all see Will cutting up, call me.
Absolutely.
Call me. But right. But nah, man, I just appreciate you. Appreciate the man you are, the father you are, the friend, the brother, man. And I'm glad that we had a chance to dig into your story, man. And it's a lot of more stuff I got to ask you next time, like how in the hell, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers got Rolex watches in prison, and how they frying whole chickens in the stairwell. I need this is fascinating to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Making music videos, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But we had to hit on the foundation first, and then we get it all into the crazy stuff, like all this silly shit that they be. This is crazy. Man, but nah, I appreciate you, man.
Man, thank you for the opportunity. It's been my pleasure.
Man, shouts out to you, dog. Love you, man.
And
until next time.
Till next time. Love you too, G.
All right, for sure.